Howdy folks! Hope everybody's having a terrific Sunday, because it is Sunday. Alright, previous episode. You know, I was scratching my head, low compression, couldn't figure out what was what. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the compression tester I was using. Harbor Freight, quick connect. Alright, well, you've seen the last test I did, I was still reading, I don't know, like 50 pounds of pressure or something like that. So, you know, I did get to thinking, you know, maybe this thing ain't working right. So I went on Amazon and was looking at this compression tester. And according to my Amazon, I had bought this thing. It's like, okay, where is it at? So I'm looking all over the garage and I finally found it. So it's right here. And little different style setup. You know, these are your fittings for your different spark plugs. I don't really know what these things are for. You got a hose and your gauge. The Harbor Freight one, you know, it's just got, you know, the three hoses for the different spark plugs and your hose. So I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, what is wrong with this? You know, I mean, there's gaskets down at the bottom and I don't know. So anyway, we're going to test with a new compression tester and see what we're getting. So let me move you over here and get the appropriate connectors out. Which I have the hose, spark plug, and the gauge. So let's see here. Do I got this thing finger tight? Yeah. Alright, so let's put this on the end here. And this does, I can't see my screen, and turn around. It does have a washer. O-ring on the part that goes into the spark plug and the part that screws into the hose here. I can turn my screen around so I can see what you're seeing. If I can get it threaded into the hole. I'm hoping. I get different readings. If I don't, yeah, let me try taking this hose off here. Because if I'm not reading higher compression, then I still got a problem. But, as you've all seen, this bike was running. Now that's another issue. Yes, it was running, but it wasn't running. Well, no, I mean, it ran okay, but we'll go over that here in a minute. Okay, so let me turn the screen around. Alright, so we're screwed in down here. We're on there. I have no carb on it, so not worried about that. Take that stuff off there. Okay, I am reading 100. I'm hoping you can see that. Let's try it again. I just got stuff going everywhere. Okay, we got 100. Supposedly, these things need 85 psi minimum to run. And so, what does that tell us? It tells us our compression is fine. It'll run fine on 100. Let me put the spark plug deck down in here. We'll move over to the desk. And I kind of suspected that the compression tester was the culprit, because I haven't tested it on this bike yet, but that's the KP Mini. And I put the Harbor Freight one in there, and I was only reading, I don't know, 80, 85, something like that. Which I know that bike should be higher, way higher than that. And that thing's pretty much brand new. There's 300 miles on it. Okay, so next up, what we have there are 3 carburetors. And let me explain what we got here. This is the brand new carb. That bike, the 125, would run for maybe 5 seconds or so, and then die. So need to figure out, and yes, I know it's a carburetor. Yeah, I know it's going to get wet in there. But it seemed like it was overly wet. So take that apart and see what the jetting is. All right, we have carb number 2 right here. This was the original carb on this bike. And it will run on this bike. However, the idle screw has no effect whatsoever. So, is the main jet clogged? Is it the main jet or the pilot jet? I forget which one does what at idle. But, so we need to figure that out. Now, I did take the float bowl off this the other day, just to kind of take a peek. I didn't do anything else. Just took the float bowl off, and I really don't want to put it in the ultrasonic because I do not have a gasket kit for this thing, and if I put it in ultrasonic, it's liable to just mess up that gasket. That's why I ended up buying this one, because it was actually I think it was a little bit cheaper than a gasket set for this one, because I don't need all the jets and stuff. So I suppose I could make a gasket. I do have some gasket material here that I have boxed up, and I need to unbox and find. Okay, here's carburetor number 3. This is the carb, and I did put an orange dot on it at the top. This is the carb off of the TS125. I think. It's one of these two. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the original one off the TS125. So I went out there, you seen me when we did that compression test on that bike, which I need to take this tester out there and test that one now, the compression tester. And so I took this carb off, brought it in here, put it on the 125, and it will not start at all. Won't even fire. So, need to look at this. So that is coming up next. We are going to take all 3 of these apart and figure out what the deal is. So, stay tuned. I'm hoping to get to this later today, but either way, it'll be just moments for you. So, stay tuned, and I'll be back here shortly. Alright guys, we're going to take these apart and see if we can see what the deal is. So, I do have some tools laid out. I'm trying to be organized for you guys. I got my JIS. I got a couple of small metrics. I think a 6, no, a 7. And I got an adjustable wrench, screwdriver, bionic eyes, and some little needles here to see if the jets are possibly clogged up. So, okay, now the float is, I'm looking inside this thing here and I see a spot that's kind of ate away. I don't know if it's showing up. Let's see here. It is right. Let's see if I can get you inside there. Okay, let me put the bionic eyes on here because I'm sure that wasn't showing up on the camera. And yeah, it's just kind of a rough spot in the carb. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I've got the slide for this new carb is still in the on the bike. I mean, I figured, well, I mean, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I was just doing some testing, so I mean, it doesn't seem to be catching on anything, so I guess it's all good there. Also, I see a dead spider inside there. Freaking spiders. They're terrible this time of year, I'll tell you right now. I've been spraying Home Defense like it was going out of style. Okay, so we're going to take the bottom off here because I don't think it's a float issue because it's not, you know, overflowing fuel. Now that doesn't mean that it couldn't be starving for fuel. That is a possibility. So we'll just kind of take a gander at it. I'll have to get the book. I didn't get my digital caliper out and my tools here and measure the height. But I am curious to see because these two right here are the old pin style floats. So I'm kind of curious to see if this one has the same setup or if it is more of the traditional style float. Freaking cat hairs everywhere. It's impossible to have a clean and work environment around here. I'm going to start charging these cats rent. Okay, so let's move this one out of the way here. Okay, so this one is clean as a whistle, which I expected. This float setup is the traditional style, and I mean it works fine. Put the readers on here. The bionic glasses. Sorry, my mistake. Okay, so you got your main jet, then you got your pilot jet, and that says 58 on the main jet, and I can blow right through it. I didn't suspect this thing was dirty, but I am curious to see, now that we've got this one sitting over here, I'm not going to take it fully apart because I don't see the need to. It is brand spanking new. But let's pull this one off and see. I mean, like I said, the only issue with the new one could be that the float isn't adjusted properly. I mean, and it's not. It's not filling up with enough fuel, but I don't suspect that is the issue because I can definitely see fuel getting in the carbs. So, and I'm trying to. Oh man, I'm trying to remember how it was that you measured the distance of the float, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's go ahead and take this float bowl off. And see what we see. I got my carb spray, because like I said, this one here that I'm working on now does not leak any fuel, so I don't want to put it in the vibrator and risk messing up that gasket. But I get distracted. You know, attention span of a hamster. I was looking for my gasket material earlier, and one thing leads to another and get sidetracked, and I have yet to find it. So, because I could use that as a, actually I could use, because I think this one here should pop out pretty easily because it's new. Excuse me, and use that as a pattern. Okay, so here is the other float bowl. And you see how these have, they have a little pin on them. Right there. And they got a hole. And the pins go down and sit right inside there. Now, this looks fine, from what I can tell. But I will shoot it out. Okay, that is shot out. Now, the other difference is, if you look, and I will show you, and this could possibly be an issue. I'm hoping it shows up. There is a little O-ring right here, and that sucker is hard as a rock. But I can blow through the main jet just fine. That does not mean, though, that I don't know if it's got side pieces on it or what. And of course, a 7mm is too big. I really don't want to take this O-ring off because I don't know if I got another one. Let me see if I got a 6mm. I don't think I do. No. I have, but I can bring a 1/4 inch over. Well, I have 1/4 inch. I can try that and see if it fits. And it does. So, if you want to take this jet out, just use a 1/4 inch. And this thing is wide open. And you can see, I don't know, maybe you can, maybe you can't. You see that light through there? Well, that is not plugged unless, you know, I need to look at the instructions because you may be able to pop that out of the center. But I'm looking down in there, and I know you won't be able to see, but I don't see any, let me get my light. I don't see any side holes. What do I do with my light? I was working on my roaster and left my light over there. Okay, so I have a light. Let's take a gander. Yeah, I see no holes in the side. And down in there it looks okay. That's a piece of dirt. Well, let's shoot it out. Well, there's no issue there, that's for sure. Okay, now I got to get a screwdriver that will fit down that hole. So let me walk over here to the tool bench. I thought I had ground one down previously to fit down inside these things. And that's another thing you don't want to do is round out that flathead down in there. So I'm using this tiny little one here. And when you put this back in, don't go all He-Man on it. Just put it back in, snug it. It doesn't need to be super tight. Okay, let's see here. Well, it does look like it may be plugged a little bit. So let's find the thinnest one we can and see if it'll go through these holes. And it does. I did feel a little resistance there, so it may have been plugged a little bit. Now it is not wanting to go through that hole. And it looks like it should be small enough to go through it. Oh yeah, that thing was plugged. But we've got it through here now. Sweet! Maybe that's all that problem was. I'll shoot down through it. And try not to squirt carb cleaner inside the cat's food bowl. I don't think they would appreciate that, and they would probably eat me for dinner. So, and we don't want that because then I couldn't make any more awesome YouTube videos. So let's. It is spraying through, so we'll use this thin one again. And I can see, I don't know if you can see. See if I can get the hole there. You know, I really hate doing this because I never can turn it the right way. Anyway, we're looking at this hole right here. You get the gist. I can see light at the end of the tunnel, right? I'm just trying to get this little pin through here. And it goes through just fine. Alright, so the float, like I said, this thing has not had an issue with spewing fuel, so I'm assuming the float height is just fine. And it actually runs on this bike, so. Okay, so that's in. Not super tight. Alright. Now, though, you know what we forgot to check? Duh. Let's see if there's any numbers on this main jet. Because I have no idea. I don't see anything on it, but it's got a little bit of corrosion on it. Well, guys, I can't tell. Let's see here. What do we got, Ted? What is this grit? I don't know. That's 220. That's kind of a little too coarse. I want something a little more fine. So I'm over here looking in my much supplies of bodywork stuff to see if I've got something thin enough. That's 220. There's 400. 400 might work. But I thought I had some That's 400. What's this one? There's 800. Let's get a little piece of 800. And see if there are any numbers on the side of this thing. Because like I said, I don't know what the jet size is supposed to be, and my manual does not state. May have to reach out to Dale, see if he knows. I'm definitely not seeing no numbers. And if they're on the top, I'm not seeing any, man. Huh. I don't know. I'm not seeing no numbers, but we will definitely check the other one. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this float bowl back on. Whoa. About to lose my needle. I know you guys seen that. Let's see here. Let's put this down there. There. Yeah, you know, I would really like to have, let me grab my, whoa. There goes the float. Man down. It goes on the bottom. Let me grab my pack of Harbor Freight O-rings and see if I have a one in there that's that small. I don't think I do. What I need. I got a thing of O-rings here somewhere. Those are washers. Okay, here's some O-ring assortments. Well, I do have some tiny ones in here. Thing of it is, getting this one off there, because to get it off, it may break. Let's see what I got that's tiny. I think that's going to be too. Get the bionic eyes on here and not stab myself in the eye. That may be a little too small. I mean, I know I can order one. That. Well, these might work, but they're not as thick as what is on there. I got these here, and there again, they are not as thick. Well, it may work, it may not work. But, because this one on here is about hard as a rock. Okay. There again, I don't think that was the issue. I think that pilot jet being kind of clogged up may have been the issue. But we'll see, Ted. And we still have no idea if the what the jet size was. Because what did I say that other one was? Like a 58? I'll check it here again. Yeah, you probably hear my TV in the background. It is Sunday, so I'm listening to foosball. Of course, the Bengals lost. Imagine that, the Bungles. But the last 2 years, they lost their first 4 games and then turned it on. So let's hope this year's a repeat of last year. And let's hope they actually go to the Super Bowl and win. That would be nice. I should have been a quarterback player, man. What's that Joe Burrow making now? Sign that contract? Like $50 million a year, guaranteed? He's what, like 25 years old? Damn, that's a lot of money. I can't even count that high. Okay, so this one is back together. The other thing I noticed is there's a little right here. I don't know if you can see that, where my finger is. There's a little nip. I don't think that's going to cause a problem, but let me get my needle nose while I'm sitting here. I will look up the, a little bit later, I'll look up that gasket for the float bowl. I guess carb's not hard to take off. Oh, crap. So I can always pop it off and put it back on. But like I said, I don't believe that is the issue. But while I got it here, I'll give it a shot of carb cleaner. Okay, fixed. Okay, this one is fairly carb cleaned. Yeah, I did see a little bit of... I'd love to put this thing in the ultrasonic, guys, because there is, I'll show you. There's crap right here where my knife blade is, and there is some crap right there. I'm going to see if I can pop that out with my knife. Yep. You don't want that stuff going into the carb. Well, they're asking on the TV there, because I don't ever watch the news. They're asking where the Howdy phrase came from the Bengals. I don't know, but I think it was right around the first time they went to the Super Bowl, and I believe Ken Anderson was the quarterback against San Francisco. And I think that's where that came. That or when they went with Boomer Esiason. I forget what year that was, but I know Guns N' Roses was popular, and that's how they got Welcome to the Jungle. They kind of picked up that little theme. So, I don't know. If you guys know, leave it in the comments. Okay, so, okay, we're going to call this one done. Done enough. All right, so let's move on to, and this slide went into this one. I'll go ahead and clean that off. Why not? I'm here. And who doesn't like the smell of carb cleaner? Or brake cleaner? Or the glue for PVC on PVC pipes? That stuff smells good. Well, it'll probably eat your brain pretty quick, though. I wouldn't be sniffing it for long. So we'll go ahead and put the spring in here. And we've got to take the other one apart now. That one, like I said, it won't even run. It won't even try to fire over. I know it's getting fuel. I do know it's getting fuel because I can open the bottom here and fuel comes out. So I know it's getting fuel. Okay, so we are looking at, what did I say? 85. That's what that jet is, an 85. Not 58. I think I said 58. You know what I didn't do though? Well, I didn't take out the idle. I mean, all that does is that doesn't do anything. It's just let's do this. The idle screw doesn't do anything but move your slide up and down. So I highly doubt that that is an issue. But we'll take the air fuel screw out. Look at it. Where'd my little piece of sandpaper go? I'll just clean it up. Okay. So that's clean. We'll put it back in, and I am going to turn it. I need a pick. We will turn it, like one turn out. I'll shoot some carb cleaner down into the air fuel screw and give it a cleaning. So we'll run it all the way in. Bring cat hairs everywhere. I'll tell you right now, it's that Daisy. Wherever she's at, I'm stretching up begging for food. She's quite addicted to moist cat food. Okay, so we are one turn out. We're going to leave that one where it's at. I think we're going to call that one done. Okay, on to carb 3. Like I said, this one would not even... Holy crap moly, man. I know I've had to have this thing apart. Ugh, still got gas in it too. Ugh. All right, let me get my Nipix. Can't find this one when we need them. You don't even want me to bust out in song, man, because I am the world's crappiest singer. It's all right. We'll spill some fuel onto the table here. Just don't light a match. I'm pretty I don't know. I was going to say I'm pretty sure I cleaned this car, but I can't honestly remember. I got these things months ago, and I have done so much crap since then. I don't remember what I did. It finally came back to me with the whole carb thing, though, because I think both carbs were doing the same thing, but I could have sworn both carbs worked, but like I said, I stole this off the TS-125, which was originally on the TC-125, and I know it ran. Pretty sure it ran. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many, many times before about many, many things. But we're about to find out. Okay, I see no dirt down in that float bowl. Okay, looks clean. But I can go ahead and shoot it out. Just be on the safe side. Freaking cat hairs, man. I'm telling you. I think that's what this whole problem is. These freaking cats. Okay, the float looks good. This washer looks kind of mangled. Or O-ring. Okay, I'm looking on this one. I see nothing, and I can see straight through the main jet, so main jet is fine. Hairs. Yeah, I know. I cleaned off this table before I even started with it. But you know, there is this tube here. There's a pickup. I didn't check it on the other one. My bad. That's probably going to be the one that's got an issue. Yeah, that's clear. Okay. That's clear. Hopefully I can get this pilot jet out of here. I vaguely remember having issues with something. Got it. Okay, it is out. And I can see through the holes. Whereas on the other one, but now how about down through the center? I don't see nothing down through the center. Yeah, it must be clean. Okay, so then if the jets are all clear, then do we have an issue with the float? But I'm trying to blow through that. Okay, so maybe there is a plug in there. Let's see here. I don't want to send anything flying. Okay, so where does the fuel tastes like crap? I would think. Let's see here. Okay, you see what I'm doing, besides looking like a retard over here. If you hold it down, okay, and you blow through your fuel inlet, you should be able to blow air in. Turn upside down, your floats are going to close, and you should not be able to blow air in. This one works as expected. Yeah, it tastes like crap. This one, however, is not doing. Okay, this one is now. Maybe, is that float? Needle sticking? That could be. I'm looking as yeah. I wonder if I can. Yeah, that could be sticking in there. And of course I didn't bring anything over to knock that out of there so we can clean out that hole. That'll work. That'll work. And a tiny hammer. I think the float is sticking on this one, so that might have been the issue with it not starting, as it wasn't filling up the float bowl. That'd be my guess. Goes that way. Okay, so put them bionic glasses back on. We'll take a look. Here is the needle, and we can give him a little cleaning. Okay, I'm debating dinner tonight. I got Little Caesars pizza the other day. Reheat that, or grill out something. Can't go wrong with grilling out anything. I don't know. I'd say leave it in the comments, but by the time I get this posted, I will already have ate probably a few meals. But I will thank you for your input. Okay. We'll just shoot some carb cleaner in there. Okay, so the plunger feels fine on the needle. You see me pushing it down? It feels perfectly fine. So we're going to put that back in there. And this goes... I don't recall ever taking this off. I set it down the way it came off. That way I didn't forget. I see nothing obviously wrong with this carb. So I do not see why it would not run. But if I'm going to order one of those O-rings, this one's got a piece missing out of it. I mean, it seemed to fit, and it goes right down. Probably can't see that. That hole in the very bottom there, very bottom, the big round hole. That's where that O-ring plops down into. Okay, well, you know, we're gonna leave it as is, because you know, here in Greg's Lair, we live on the edge. We live on the edge with everything. I do not know what is up with my Paramount Plus, but it likes to just freeze. Then I have to go out there, back it up. Actually, I think this, even though the O-ring looks worse, I think it's in better shape because definitely have a little more resistance pushing down. Okay, well, we'll just go ahead and put some screws in there, and that'll should pull it right in. Yeah, so sprayed stuff in there. Okay, so what have we learned here? Not a whole freaking lot, honestly, because we know that jet was, what did I say, an 85? I have no idea what the jets are in these things. I didn't take this one out because there's no side holes in the main jet, so I can see clear up through the body of the carb. I'm not going to take it out. And there is no markings on them. So, I don't know, man. I'll have to see if I can Google it. It's not in my climbers. I looked in there to see if it had any reference to jet sizes, and it said nothing. But I may get a hold of Dale and see if he has anything in his Suzuki manual. Or he'll watch this and he'll tell me exactly what size it is. So, Dale, if you watch this, thank you ahead of time. He's a busy man. He's got so many subscribers now. Well, guys, I am at 522 subscribers. So you know what that means. I'm going to be a rich man here once I hit 1,000. I can retire. I can do this every day when I get 1,000 subscribers. So if you have a friend, have them subscribe so I can be a rich man when I get to 1,000. I don't actually think that's how that works, but I honestly don't even know. I'd probably get like 5 cents. So, or a penny for my thoughts, nickel for my whole brain. And if anybody knows the movie that quote came off of, put it in the comments. Because that's an older one. Okay, what are we going to do? We are, see, I think that float needle is sticking. Oh yeah, it's definitely sticking. Okay, so we got a sticky needle. Seat thingy majiggy, and that's probably why it wasn't starting before, because it was sticking in the up position, so it would not let any fuel in. Okay, so we know that could be an issue with this car, but other than that, the jets were perfectly fine. This one, the pilot jet, appeared to be clogged, but it is no more. So yeah, we're good there. This one, guys, I just don't know, because I don't know what size the main jet is supposed to be. But it is a brand new carb, and as you can see inside here, it is spotless, and inside here it is spotless. Yeah, I don't know. I guess time will tell. We'll try it again. You know, I mean, like I said, it's not too much of a pain. It's two 12 mil bolts to get this thing off. So, and what sucks is kicking this thing a million times. I'm going to have to go put my steel toe shoes on. It gets the arch of your foot pretty good kicking this thing a million times. So I think what I may do is wrap this up here. My videos tend to run fairly long, usually about an hour, but to me that is nice entertainment. However, I may, since we just took these apart, I do need to research and see what the main jet is supposed to be, and I'll see what the pilot jet is supposed to be as well, because I have no clue. And wrap this up. We verified the compression. You've seen in the last video the bike ran, albeit no idle, and it just and that could be attributed to the pilot jet. And now that we know this carb is sticking, I will see if I can find a carb rebuild kit, and on eBay, which I know they make them, but they're like $40. Stupid ridiculous. But or find my gasket mate. No, I would need the needle. Yeah. Anyway, but we know that's the issue with that one. So, you know, once it's down on the bike, and when it's got fuel in it, you know, and it's got two-stroke oil in it, it may help lubricate it. So that issue may be fine. That might explain why the bike never started to begin with. And then the big unknown is this brand new one here. So I don't know what I do with my flathead. let's turn this sucker in and see what it's sitting at. That's a half. That was a half out. So I will leave it 1/2 out. Actually, no. I'm going to do it 1 turnout because the other ones I've got 1 turnout. So we're at 1 turnout. All right. So I guess the next step would be to put one of these back on the bike and go for broke, man. See what it does. But in the meantime, like I said, I'll do this short video, just taking these things apart, so we know where the main jet is, we know where the pilot jet is. Your choke is right here. There's really not a whole lot to it, man. And you know, this one is your idle, and you can see right. You can see it. Let me get some light on this subject here. If you go in from behind, woo, you can kind of see it sticking off to the side there. If you're looking at it, it's going to be to your left. But you'll see it sitting down in there. And all that does is there's a little indent in the side of the slide. And that slide's not even all the way down in there. But so when you turn it in, all it does is it's pushing either your slide up or letting it down. So, and that's the conjunction junction function of that. And yeah, there you have it. So I will wrap this portion of it up, get that out for you guys, and then the next one we will pick one of these 3 and leave in the comments if you wish, and let me know which one I should try again, and we'll do just that. So hey, thanks for hanging out with me and going through these carburetors. Although we didn't get all the answers that we wanted, we got some answers, and we'll take it from there. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one.